Hey, what's up guys? It's Absolutely Alpha here. Today's video is going to be very different. Basically what I want to do for this video is I'm going to be kind of showing or explaining or whatever you want to call it, basically just how I believe the FPS works for Badlion Client, and we're going to be going through what settings should you be using, how is it going to affect you. I have 11 different tests essentially. I'm using two different computers to test this. I'm using both 1.7 and 1.8 testing. And so whether you're recording or not, because you look at people like basically anyone who's ever done a video, like, oh, I'm not recording, so that doesn't really, it's going to look different for me. Well, I'm showing you what it looks like for me when I record and when I don't record, just so you can kind of understand and get an idea of how everything works. So I'm going to go ahead and dive right into it real fast. The first topic we're going to be looking at is basically just all the results from my laptop. So my laptop has a GTX 1060 and i7 770 HQ. It's not the K, so it's the HQ, the laptop version, which is slightly worse. I have a little bit of solid state, I think 256 solid state, and then like 1 TB hard drive on the laptop. It's an MSI laptop. It's pretty solid. So we're gonna go ahead and look at that. And also, in addition, for the laptop, I tested it two different ways. One, I hooked up a 75 hertz monitor to the laptop and recorded, or not recorded, but played the Minecraft on there. And the other one is just playing on the normal laptop screen. So I just want to go ahead and clarify that. Alright, so this is our 1.7. We're not recording right now. We just spawned here in the lobby. And right now we're getting 500. Our frames are looking a little better. Yeah, when we run over here away from everything. Standing still, they definitely go up fairly well. Not as good as the 1.8. But, yeah, when we're moving around, we're getting around 500-ish, which is pretty solid. When you're not recording, we're going to go ahead and hop into an unranked. No debuff. Yeah, our FPS is still looking, just below 500. So for gameplay, when you're not recording, that's pretty solid stuff, So we're in 1.7 now. Switching from 1.8 to 1.7 always messes up that mod for me. I think everything else is reasonable. Alright, so we're recording. I'm getting around a little bit less FPS than I was with the 1 point. Looking there, it gives me really low frames. We're going to go ahead, but we're still getting around 400, 300 while recording. Let me double check I am recording, right? Yeah, we're still recording this with Badlion Client. This is 1.7. Oh, I gotta fix my settings. So that goes to fast and this goes to smooth. I find that usually works the best. So yeah, now we're maintaining 400 here even with the spawn, and yeah, that's definitely helping frames now. We'll go ahead and hop into a match real fast. Maybe a build. Build would be much better. I don't think it's gonna happen. So we're just slightly below 300 FPS. Okay, so right here we're chilling on version 1.8 of the Badlion client, and just still chilling in the arena lobby. We're getting anywhere between 700 to 800 FPS. We're not moving around. It's staying roughly the same. It's pretty nice frames. We turn around to face the spawn where the players are. It does dip a little bit. We'll go ahead and queue into an unranked match. I can't really play with only holding one hand, but we'll go ahead and show you there. If it loads. Okay, I had to go into debuff. But you see even here, still in the arena, we're getting a solid 600 frames. This is without recording, just to keep that in mind. And yeah. Okay, so now we are recording with OBS. We're on 1.8 on the Minemen Club. Here in the lobby, we're getting anywhere between 300 and 400 FPS. Varies whether we're looking at spawn or not. We're going to go ahead and go into a match. And yeah, we're still maintaining that 300 FPS range, so that's pretty solid. We'll get a little bit of PvP action here. This is 1.8 on 1.7 server. Keep in mind, I'm a bot, so especially with no debuff. Alright, so for those first 4 tests, what did we see? Well, so we had it hooked up to my laptop with the monitor. So on the monitor, we were getting, whenever we weren't recording, about 700, 800 for 1.8, and then about 500 to 600 for 1.7. So it is interesting to see that 1.8 was doing better, but only by a few hundred FPS. And then when we recorded, it kind of cut in half basically the FPS we were getting. We were still getting anywhere between 200 to 300 for both 1.7 and 1.8, up to 400 I think for 1.8 at some points. So it's still completely playable, and you don't like on the monitor you really don't see a difference between recording and not recording. It looks the same, so that's good. And we're really, if you have a computer about this size and that's kind of the FPS you get on Badlion Client, you're not going to have to worry about whether you record or not. Just the number is going to look smaller, which can suck, but you know, it's a number. So as long as your gameplay feels smooth, then I think you're fine with recording, at least in that respect. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the laptop, but without the monitor. And this has some interesting results. So we are back here with the Badlion Client. We're now on the laptop screen. This one is unconnected and turned off. So this is a 60 hertz monitor. What's very interesting is you look at this FPS that we're not recording right now because we're on my iPod. It's like barely at 200. We'll run over here away from the all the crazy stuff, see if the FPS goes up at all. But even when like standing still, we're barely able to hit that 200 mark with Badlion Client. This is all with Optifine on, by the way. In case I haven't already mentioned that. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and hop into a match real fast. Which no debuffs, the only thing people will queue into. Our FPS is currently, it's still, yeah, 200, 216. That's about what we were in the lobby. Not much of a difference here. And yeah, I'll go ahead and go switch to recording now with that screen. Okay, so now we were recording on 1.7. And yeah, looking here at spawn, yeah, we're getting like 126. We're getting barely 130, so we definitely see a decrease in performance with not recording. But like even yeah, standing still here, we can't even get close. We can't even get to 150. That's how rough the FPS is. It's very interesting. There we go. We just barely broke 150. That you know, hooking up an extra monitor, you think that would make more wear and tear on the CPU and GPU and stuff, having to display a second screen, but for some reason, and this also goes for regular Minecraft too for this laptop. For some reason, hooking up the other monitor, the 75 hertz monitor, makes it better. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not really sure why. Oh, we did get in a build match, and I don't have a kit. That'll have to do. Oh. And yeah, sorry, FPS stayed reasonable. Like, it's above the 60, so that's good, but definitely not great. We're going to switch to 1.8 for these two, and we will see how that goes. Alright, so this is 1.8 on the laptop, not recording. We're getting about the same as the 1.7. We're at like 170 right here, just chilling at the spawn. We'll run off a little bit, see if we get a boost in our FPS with no players in the lobby. It'll focus. Yeah, we're looking at not able to hit 200 with the 1.8. Alright, so we're recording here on 1.8. We'll change our settings real fast. Although we left VBOs off, so I'll leave VBOs off. I'll turn it on to see if it makes a difference, because most of the time, at least when I played on Mac, VBOs on was a huge difference. Alright, so our FPS is far worse while recording at 1.8. We're barely capping over 100. You know, we were able to get consistently, you know, to 150, 140 looking this way. We're at like 120-ish right now. So, oh yeah, let's see if VBOs makes a difference. No, I mean, there's not really much of a difference. Alright, so we'll hop into a match and see what kind of FPS we get with gameplay. But, I will say, I feel like it's more choppy than on the 75 hertz monitor, probably because of the hertz difference. Quite frankly. And, you know, I've played on 144 hertz for just under a year now, and that's just what I'm used to, not 60 anymore. So, yeah. But, yeah, we're getting, like, not even 100 while fighting in 1.8. Alright, so basically what we saw there is the laptop couldn't really handle Minecraft that well at all. Especially when recording, you didn't really feel like you were getting 60 hertz on that monitor. And I'm not sure if that's specific to me in any way, but if you're a laptop user and you're not happy with the performance of your machine and it's like a gaming laptop or something, I would definitely recommend buying a second monitor. It's only like $100 and seeing if that makes a difference for you, because it sure did for me. That's a massive difference, to be able to. And 144 hertz may not work with the laptop. I don't know. Like my 144 hertz monitor doesn't really work effectively with the laptop, but the 75 hertz monitor does. So, very interesting there. That that's the difference between the two, at least in my opinion. I just find that really shocking and surprising. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to my PC, which we'll have 5 different tests for that. So here we go. Alright, so now with it's not recording, it's the 144 hertz monitor, the nice PC. You can see we're getting right here, just chilling in the lobby, close to 900, but we're averaging like a mid 850 FPS mark. That's that's like 150, 200 FPS better. It does dip a little bit. We'll go into a fight real fast. That has seemed to drop the FPS here on this computer. We're getting now around 700, 600, which is still really, really, really solid stuff. So yeah, that's kind of what we're getting right now. Yep, in recording here on 1.7, we're getting anywhere between, high 600 FPS, low 700 to, 500, as you can see up here. It's averaging, but it's getting good stuff, and we're recording 144 hertz. We'll have it to a match. Make sure everything is looking solid, which I believe it is. So that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Yeah, we're getting 400 to 500. We're on 1.7, which is pretty solid. Alright guys, so we're back here. This is our 144 hertz monitor with our actual PC. As you can see right now, we're just chilling in the lobby, and we're getting roughly 600 FPS. We run away from the spawn. It's, between the high 500s and low 600s. Let me get that to focus real fast. Yeah, we're hitting pretty good frames. I will mention I was on Arctic just a second ago, and I was getting like 400 frames. So it's interesting how Arctic is a lot more laggy. And this is 1.8 with all our normal settings. Nothing too fancy. It's going to be video settings. Basically the same stuff as the other. So, alright guys, so we are here on Minemen Club. We're here in the arena. We're recording, remember, so we're hitting around 545, 560. So this is around, looks like 80 to 100 lower FPS than when we were not recording. And I'm recording in 144 frames per second. With, I don't know, like a 30,000 bit rate or 50,000 bit rate or something like that. We'll hop into a match. See what it changes to. And we're hitting around the same FPS, a little bit. The 300 spike was a little bit lower. But we're roughly at the same FPS that we were when we don't record. So overall, guys, on this PC, which is a GTX 1080 and i8700K, the FPS when recording versus not recording really stayed the same. That was the big difference between it and the laptop. The FPS tanked a good bit on the laptop. Here it stayed about the same, and I think that's just due to the better specs. And also the FPS was a little bit better. Now keep in mind, all of these tests, all 12, I'm pretty sure the tests, were with Optifine on. And I'm going to show you real quick a problem I have. And I talked to G-Berry about it, and he's like, yeah, you're joking, or, that's not true. And it is true, so he's about to see. And this is when I turn Optifine off for my Badlion client, my FPS goes nuts. And here we go. Alright, now this is something else that I've noticed. So right now, you can see there's fog. You're like, what the heck is this? I hate playing with fog. But that's when you don't use Optifine, that's what happens. And so, look at our FPS without Optifine on Badlion client, 1.7. Look at that, 1700, 1600, without Optifine. That, my friends, is something I don't understand, and I talked to G-Berry about it, and he's like, you're lying. And here we are, my friends. We're getting 1800 FPS with Badlion client, with Optifine off. And I would play with Optifine off, except that means I can't use Zoom, and I have that fog, and so it's not really worth it. So I'm willing to take the FPS tank to use Optifine. But there's a clear issue with Optifine that's preventing the FPS boosts. Because right now we're using, Optifine off. We're still using better frames. We should be anyway. Where is it? Other? Nope. It's in graphics. FPS boost, it's on. With the FPS boost off, Badlion client, yeah, you can see we're only getting around 1300, 1200 as opposed to the 1800. So the FPS boost really does make a difference here, guys. Their FPS boost, but it's with the Optifine off. The Optifine is tanking FPS. I didn't try this on the laptop, and I can't really show that to you guys now, but it's just a little extra tidbit I wanted to show off. Look at that. So yeah. But yeah, guys, I hope this video really helps you guys kind of understand. Overall, my Badlion Client FPS is roughly the same uh, as like my FPS in game. Like I said, whenever Optifine's off, my FPS Badlion Client just boosts it a ton. But with Optifine on, really on all my PCs, like the FPS is pretty solid. It's not like insane. It's not like awful. But if you have like laptop specs and you use Badlion Client, you're gonna get pretty good frames, and it's gonna be playable and enjoyable. So I'm still for Badlion Client. I love it. If you want me to do a video like this for Lunar Client, so you can kind of see the results and stuff, feel free to let me know. I haven't even touched or downloaded Lunar Client yet, so just because I like Badlion. So, but that's about it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys soon.